He's always comfortable talking about food.
Yeah, Blink-182, supplemental cheese, barbershop, women's soccer,
Star Wars.
He's
And
okay talking about any of those subjects.
that's the only thing is don't make him uncomfortable.
Yeah, any other
All
subject.
G.I. Joes.
And G.I. Joe's. He's good
G.I.
at
Joes. Toys.
And
pretty
sports
much.
you can play in the with items you find in the area here.
Yes. Yeah, like wiffle ball.
He's very
Like
good
wiffle
at
ball.
it. Yes,
Yeah,
very good at
those are safe conversational topics for Thomas Hennessy.
Yeah.
If you stray outside of that, he tends to get uncomfortable.
Which makes you wonder what he talks about on dates.
No, I wasn't wondering that.
I didn't want
I
that at
don't
all.
think about Thomas
Really?
Hennessy's personal life at all.
His personal one? No?
I'm going to start the show now.
Okay.
Hi, guys. Welcome to Reverse the Verse. It is Friday, April 29th, 2016. I'm your host, Community Manager Jared Huckabee. With me, as always, is our Director of Community Engagement, Online Strategy, and Spaceships, Mr. Ben Lesnick. Our Subscription Manager, Ms. Alexis Lesnick, responsible for all that cool swag you see in our store and in the game. Justin Chambers, our Editor Emeritus. Man behind the curtain who we were talking about when we first got started, this Mr. Tom Hennessy. And not with us this week is Tyler. We miss Tyler's usually down here, but he bailed out today. So Tyler, I think he's in chat. So hi, Tyler.
Shame on you, Tyler.
Tyler, our other community manager, here in chat. So if you're just joining us, Reverse the Verse is the Cloud Imperium Games community team's weekly informal live stream with the fans. We're going to talk a little bit about our week in review, discuss the current state of Star Citizen, patch 2.4, where your spaceships are at, stuff like that. Take some questions and answers from the community, and then talk a little bit about what's in Star Citizen's immediate future. So, beginning of every show, we do our week in review. We always start off with Ben. It's always a mistake, but we keep doing it. So Ben, what'd you do this week?
This was a busy week, but it was all really boring stuff. It's, the longer you get into the job and the higher you climb in the company, the more boring the things you do are. So it was stuff like arranging travel for Tom to go to Austin this week and budgeting for set purchases for the next 6 months. And so no exciting ship kickoffs or anything like that. A lot of meetings and plannings. I had a meeting this morning with UK about implementing insurance in not too distant patch. So they're turning that from Chris's original design into a thing that's in the game.
Wait, you mean insurance might actually be a component of Star Citizen?
Yes,
Some point
actually.
in the future?
Actually getting that in there. And we're looking at a lot of edge cases like, what if you lose all your ships? And
So I will be removing everybody's ability to post to the forums like 5 minutes before that happens. Now that's exciting. I'm curious. I want to see how that's all going to work.
yeah, it was interesting seeing, all of our trying to figure out stuff like designers looking at how you punish people for insurance fraud and how the game will actually track that. It's cool seeing these vague ideas we had 2 or 3 years ago turn real.
And I imagine we will have a very real and dedicated segment to insurance and Star Citizen when the time is appropriate. Mm-hmm. All right, well, what esse this weekend? You said some set purchases. We finally got our third and final ATV set decorated this week.
Third ATV, and we're gonna have a separate ATV set. It's starting next week. It was on Instagram. Darian spoiled it for everybody.
That's what Darian does.
We have the it's wrapped to look like Terra, so it's gonna be hopefully a cool setting that shows off Sandy and my natural handsomeness. And we also want a new desk at some point, so that's coming down the line. And we're looking at upgrading our cameras in the not too distant future.
Yes.
Good stuff in general.
Yes, it's one of those things. It's important to upgrade and keep technology, going. But now I can't see the screen if you do that.
Can't see your face anymore.
Hello.
Oh, now we can't
but now you can't see Allie's
face.
No,
face.
I'm blocked. I
had it
just
there so
found
that you
a
could see.
spot where it wasn't blocked.
I see. It was more than just
Hennessy
me.
came and ruined it.
It was about Allie.
Tom Hennessy.
It's fine. I'll just permanently have a microphone in my face.
The Cloud Imperium Games weekly informal live stream with the fans.
Goodness gracious, boys. We're trying to do a show here.
So we've got that Terra wrap set coming.
I think we should go ahead and also confess that interpersonal tensions are probably at a bit of a high right now because of a little game called Uno that Sharon brought to work 2 days ago.
Yes. We've been playing Uno on our lunch breaks and after our lunch breaks and before our dinner breaks,
Yes.
play a little bit of Uno.
Yeah.
Are we playing Uno today?
I don't know.
I don't know if we want to murder each other.
I don't know. Today's cheesesteak day.
My favorite
day
was
isn't
yes.
No,
is
I
a day
think,
of.
you know what? We should have at least, a few rounds.
Come on, it's Friday.
Like,
See,
really angry.
she's the pusher, actually.
Yeah.
I may have bought the Uno, but it was at her prodding that I bought the Uno.
Well, yeah, because you were like, look at this cool Uno set. And I was like, wow, that's really neat. And you were like, I'm going to buy it.
Yes.
Yeah, we were in the cafeteria yesterday playing, and I guess Sandy heard us just cursing at each other, and she was like, I have to get in on this.
Yes.
The best thing was watching her go from like apologizing when she gave me a draw 4 to just cursing at me.
Yeah, giggling under her breath when she screwed people with cards.
So Uno makes you bad people, and we've got it.
Yes.
We got it.
So what else did we do this week? The first prospector Q&A went up.
Yes, and special shout out to our other community manager. Some would say our prettier community manager,
Nobody would say that. Not even his mom.
Tyler Ricken, for putting that together. Of course, the designers in the UK for actually answering the questions, but I think that was Tyler's first style heat post, so good job, Tyler. You're going to learn our stupid back-end system.
Yep. Yes, he acquitted himself very well. I gave him only minimal instructions, and I said, figure the rest out. And he had one question, and I gave it to him. And to his credit, the question was how he could learn this on his own, not just give me the answer. And that's why Tyler's one of my favorite people. So, good ups on Tyler.
And the second one, if it's not up now, it can go up at any time.
Yeah, Tyler, if you're
If you're
watching,
out there, put it up.
go and publish the second prospector Q&A. It's good to go. So that might be up now. And big thanks to John Crew and Johnny Jasivius. Johnny Jasivius is the designer in the UK that took the lead on the prospector. So Johnny Jasivius provided most of the answers. John Crew vetted them, and I'm really excited about the prospector.
We would be remiss if we didn't point out that this is your very last chance to pick up a prospector during the concept sale. Sale ends early Monday, so if you want a prospector, this is the weekend to do it.
Yeah, with that lifetime insurance, which will apparently soon be a thing, soonish.
It was interesting watching them because so the design side, folks understand what the end goal is, but they're not necessarily tied into what players have in the game right now. So they're like, oh, so are there any ships without insurance? Are there how? And we were like, no, everything has at least 3 months of insurance. Like, well, so what is this system going to do when we kick it off? It won't affect anybody, but it was interesting watching it all come together.
Can we turn on the speakers in your computer? Or
No, Tom's doing something.
Tom's doing something.
I don't know.
We're hearing audio from the other room.
Yes.
So what did you do this week?
Well, mostly merchandise stuff. We also had the subscriber RTV on Wednesday.
Yes.
That was all you though, so. But I get to talk about it because I'm the subscription manager.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. I really enjoyed it with Ross,
was a lot of fun,
Tregenza,
yeah.
and Pedro. So
Yes. You haven't lived till Pedro is telling you to calm down and relax 5 minutes before the broadcast. He's like, Jared. He goes, look at me. I am calm and relaxed. All will be okay. Pedro had been stuck in traffic, so he just got there before the start of the show. Lee had called out sick. We were having all these technical issues, and and I'm squaring them all away. And he's like, you got this, Jared. And he goes, you are the best that I know. He goes, you will be okay. And I'm just like, wow, I'm getting zenned out by Pedro. It's all right.
I feel that way about Pedro too. I mean, he's like I'm constantly happy that Pedro exists. That there are people like Pedro out there.
I remember when Pedro added me on social media, and it was when I first got here, and I didn't think anybody knew who I was, and he was like the very first person to add me, and I was like, "How do you know me?" He's like, "Oh, I saw you. You work here now," and I just wanted to say welcome. I was like, "Wow, you were so nice."
He's such a nice guy.
I'd bring him on as a community manager in a heartbeat if he wasn't immensely overqualified for other roles. He's much better as a composer. But so you also have something to show, don't you?
We also have new patches available. They'll be up right after the show. If you were a subscriber, we had a bit of a pre-sale yesterday. So we've got this manufacturer patch set, which
Can we go to the zoom in camera
probably
so we
not
can?
showing up on the zoom in
Yeah,
camera.
there we go. So,
Okay.
Bye, Ben.
oh yeah.
Here, Ben, you show them off.
All right.
So you're in the zoom in camera zone.
Well, here we have Aegis, the Aegis patch.
I don't know what
Aegis
Black Alex is.
Aegis. It's actually Aegis. Isn't
Aegis,
it?
yeah.
Aegis. Try getting anybody to say it.
We don't have to-
This one's gonna get bigger,
Aegis.
isn't it?
Yes, we're sizing that one up.
Aegis.
These are just the samples.
We've got MISC, Musashi Industrial, etc.
Starflight concern.
Yeah, I named it.
You named it. You should know it.
Anvil. I mean, that'll look good on.
Yeah, in the original Anvil, green and gray from the original Hornet.
Cool tattoo.
That's not.
That's not part of the. That's not part of the segment.
RSI.
You're really.
I'm
milking
really
this
dragging
out.
this out.
Yeah.
And this one's also sizing up, isn't it?
Yes.
The Drake Interplanetary.
Drake
Yeah.
will size up to match the RSI.
It's not going to be that big.
No, not that big.
So anyway, those will be available.
Like a typical
at
man, you're
noon,
exaggerating.
Right after the show. So pick them up if you want them.
Yep.
You know, back in the Wincubator days, the team for each project when it shipped would get a cloth patch. We should do that here.
Yeah, I agree. Sticker versions of the patches sometime. Yeah, we can definitely do stickers. We get asked for those a lot. So
Yeah, I think not to speak out of turn, but I think stickers would be hard to be on their own.
yeah,
Shipping costs
yes,
and
we'd
stuff.
need to. They'd have to be bundled with something else. So.
Yeah.
Bricks. Star Citizen
Yes,
bricks.
we'll send you bricks if you
An
order.
engraved brick. Anything else this week? We had subscriber RTV. You got your wonderful patches.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Working on getting the stuff for like Gamescom, hand out giveaways for events and stuff. A lot of that stuff this week. So we're in the final throes of getting all of that stuff organized.
We got chairs for the lobby finally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We finally started to get furniture in the office. So
We've had furniture.
we've had some furniture.
We
We
had
had
the old. We had
some.
the old.
had the old beat up furniture.
The like
Yes.
furniture from Chris Roberts' production company from
Yes.
Yes.
2009.
Yes, we've had recycled furniture.
Yeah.
It only took us nearly 4 years, but we finally got bespoke furniture.
What does bespoke mean? I mean, say it a lot, but I don't know what it means.
Specific to that.
Is it like a
okay.
custom made thing?
Yeah, and it actually isn't bespoke. I used the word wrong, but that's what. But we got furniture for ourselves that wasn't repurposed from some other venture.
And one thing you might also notice looking around the fan cave is that there's more stuff. We unpacked boxes that Sandy had in her garage with various things people had sent, and we.
A lot of it was the stuff that Chris used to have in his office during the move. That he took that stuff home to protect it, so that the movers didn't move it and have a chance of breaking it. So a lot of that stuff that was in Chris's office, in the old office, is now here. We have his flag there, and a lot of the patches that fans sent.
The Guinness book. Is
The Guinness records, world records up there. A lot of the awards that the folks have sent Chris. The custom Swiss Army knife over there is cool. We'll do another tour.
Is that a new picture of Ben Nisbaron's head? Eyes?
No, yeah, that's for our org wall, the wall that we never actually show. This wall over here is dedicated to organizations. We have canvas prints of different organization
Tom's
logos
gonna give
and
give
stuff.
us a little bit of a tour right now.
So we're slowly collecting them from people who send those in. So I imagine after this show we'll probably get a bunch more. So, and now Hennessy is directing a camera to it, and by the time it's all ready to go, we'll be moved on. So,
Well, we have real cameras and real tripods. I could do this.
and camera operators and all those other things real shows have. But we are, if
I
anything,
do feel like that Uno anger is still
It's still oozing
running
out.
through
right?
everybody's veins here.
he didn't. No, he doesn't deserve his own shot
Oh
like
my
that. There's a
goodness.
whole wall of stuff. There's INN,
specifically on that.
there's INN, and there's astronauts, and there's Imperium on there. Baron doesn't get his own
Good job,
shot.
Dustin.
There's all kinds of, like, there's the flag that used to be on Chris's wall, and there's a thing from Ninth Security Industries that they sent us, and there's an INN thing, and he's just going crazy with the camera. There's some patches and some stuff.
In technical Highland terms, this is called a pan.
The Crystal Eagle is from Valinor Aerospace, if I remember correctly.
This looks like one of those found footage movies.
Yes.
It's making me dizzy.
VHS 3, VCD.
Well, right now, nobody can see what we're doing. So, Justin, save the segment. What did you do this week?
Actually, I started some work on the documentary, The Making of Star Citizen, which is exciting. The show and tell, we started working on that.
That's our internal show and tell. We we put out shows all the time for everybody in the outside world. We also put together an internal show once a month that's everything different teams are working on, kind of to get people pumped up and excited and know what. Hey, look, there's my eye.
What's going
Well,
on?
I
yeah,
have no idea.
Yeah,
Tom,
what is
Tom
happening
refuses
here?
to use autofocus, so that's what he does to
Terrible.
focus.
And
Yes. And for everybody wondering about the show and tells, why don't they show us that? That is the content of the ATV Fast Forward.
yes.
So you are seeing the content of those show and tells.
Some of it.
Some of
Squadron, not so much Squadron stuff.
Yeah, now you're not seeing the Squadron stuff.
There is some secrets.
Which there is a lot of pressure behind the show and tell because you're showing everyone else's work and you got to make sure to present it how they want presented. So it does get a little bit of pressure.
When are you going to start doing that?
What do you mean?
Whoa.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh! You said save the show, and you're
Way to
stabbing
draw
me
to
in the
him.
back.
Wait to put a draw 2 right in his back.
Draw two right in the back. And you know, and then the regs, ATV, 10 for the chairman, and all that good stuff. So
In,
been a
AT-
good week.
yeah, in ATV this week, we had the Ship Shape with Josh Coons about the Drake Herald. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's a very unique ship that's coming along rather nicely.
You might say it's a herald of things to come.
I would not say that, actually. There's no circumstance in the world in which I would say that. And you wrote that intro for me. Hark, hear the herald. Hark, the herald sings.
I love when I remember to write those intros.
Yes. And I read it because, unlike my esteemed colleague, I will read the things that he contributes, regardless of how silly or stupid they are, because I'm a team player. I also put a picture of you at the end that says, "I wrote this." You probably haven't seen the episode, but it's there. So my week is pretty much the standard stuff. It's ATV. It's the output. It's getting the Terror Wrap done. Lore Makers, another episode of Lore Makers for next week, and we're doing we're shooting a thing with INN here soon, and got an update on some cool voice attack stuff that you'll see very soon.
I wrote to Brian Chambers and I asked him if I could buy German Wing Commander stuff on German eBay and send it to the office there for me to collect when we go to Germany.
Did he say yes?
He said that was fine. So I'm gonna.
You've kind of been worried. You've been talking about doing this for a while, and I was like, you should just do it. He'll say yes.
I don't like using sources and stuff for personal things, even though there's absolutely no problem with that.
Using an address, to have what's
So to the office administrator in Germany, I apologize
Even
for
the
what's
evil eye.
going to happen.
All right. So that was our week in review. We'll move right along to Where's My Stuff? Where's My Stuff is a section where I ask Ben, hey, Ben, where's my stuff?
It's like one floor above my stuff.
We'll start right off with everybody's most pressing question, 2.4.
2.4
It's April 29th.
Yes, it is April 29th. 2.4 is not... Actually, did they go out for the Evocati PTU yet?
See, the reason for this segment was so I could ask you that.
We'll see. I don't know. we're very close to the first limited PTU test. If it has not already happened, it will be very soon.
That's a heck of an NDA.
yeah.
We don't even know.
That's all being run by Will Everett and Austin.
The game support staff. So
Yeah, I know they got their patch notes. I don't know if the actual patch hit yet.
Yeah.
But no, 2.4 is coming along. It's a big deal. The biggest jump since the jump to 2.0. We're probably almost certainly not going to hit live in April, but it will be worth a little bit of a wait, and we'll keep you guys updated as we start getting lists of exactly what the blockers and the bugs are.
And when we talk about the biggest patch, a lot of that is under the hood stuff. There's a lot of work being done to make persistence a thing, to move everything up into our new database. It's not as flashy as 2.0.
That's massively huge, but there's also a lot of user end content. I mean, the game changes very much with the idea, earning money and spending money, and it's going to feel like a big change.
Changes to Port Olisar.
Port Olisar is very different. Just getting rid of the holo table.
Getting rid of the holo table.
In fact, we were all celebrating in the thread about that, and Chris was like, "No, it's coming back." So it is coming back, but it's going to be better.
Yes.
And you'll be using your Moby less for now.
Yeah. The mobiGlass interface it's still in progress, but they're making some great progress on it. It looks very cool. We're shooting a segment with Sean Tracy on Monday of next week, where I hope to.
Is that the segment with Sean Tracy you've been
Yes,
trying to shoot?
that's
for
a
the
segment I've
past
been
3
chasing
weeks?
for the last 4 weeks while they make this work. So hopefully we're supposed to film it yesterday, and then Sean Tracy fell deathly ill. He was in here and he looked terrible. He was like, I'm sick. I can't do this segment. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, yeah, but he's very sick of it.
I
He's been
apologize.
working very hard on this, so he's. I'm not surprised he got sick. He's been putting in a lot of hours, putting in a lot of work.
I apologize for the awkward segue, but that reminded me that Geek Domo, one of our very best streamers, is having heart surgery this morning, and we just wanted to say that our thoughts are with him. If you are the sort of person who prays, please do that. He's a really good guy. He's been such a big part of the Star Citizen community. We are just pulling for him, and we hope.
He's okay. No, we love you, Geek Domo. We're pulling for you. I assume he'll let us know before he went in, so I assume he'll let us know when he comes out. So we'll be watching Twitter today. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was.
I was like, what happened?
By the way, that was easily your best segue ever, Ben. So no need to apologize for that.
I always break those ones I ran at the beach.
God.
Let's see. So that's where 2.4 is. As far as spaceships, work continues on the Caterpillar here in LA.
Yeah, we're starting to wrap that up. What else is going to move? The Herald is
Wrap up the concepting.
yeah, the
the
recon.
internal-
We're not
the
going to do the
internal
hangar and it would be much later this year.
Yes,
for the actual,
Ben says they're wrapped up on the Caterpillar. It's going to be out next month.
no, the internals of the Caterpillar.
The internal concepting. They still got to build the ship.
What else did I see this week? We're moving towards next month's concept ship. I don't know if we want to say what it is yet or not. Should we?
It's the people already know of the ship.
Okay,
so.
yeah. So we are getting ready for the Buccaneer, which will be late May, assuming everything comes together as we're hoping. I mean, game development can go pear-shaped very quickly, but we're on track for the Buccaneer as our next big ship reveal. That's kind of exciting. Mm-hmm. I saw they were doing the work on the F-7A Hornet for Squadron. I know for years now people have been like, but what does the F-7A look like? Is it just like the C? Is it just like the C? Is it just like the C? The answer is no, it is not just like the C.
Yeah, it's simultaneously very different but very similar.
Yeah.
It's Chris Smith is doing a very good job at updating the design while still making it easily identifiable as a Hornet.
So you'll be seeing more of that as we get closer to Squadron, because we want a very different hero vehicle, something that stands out from the one folks own. What other ship stuff is happening this week? I was supposed to have a kickoff for 2 new tiny ships, but that got pushed a couple weeks for scheduling, usual stuff. It's at the point where we're looking at what ship concepts do we want to start well after the game is out. So it's a good place to be in.
All right, so there's a couple ship updates there. 2.4 update.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to our next section. Our next section is affectionately referred to as Dad Lando. If anybody happens to follow me on Twitter, you may have discovered already that my father is a Star Citizen. He's actually he plays more than I do. He knows sometimes more about the game than I do. That doesn't stop him from texting me weird questions about his cutlass in the middle of the night. But it's all right. It's part of having a dad that plays your video game.
You're lucky. My dad does not play my video game. Every time I call home, he asks me if there's been a new module.
Yes.
That is the Star Citizen concept he's been able to internalize, that there are modules.
Yes, and after asking if he could come for a visit, and I said, yeah, sure, whatever. And then Ben goes, hey, get me on RTV. And then he's like, I booked a flight. And I'm like, oh my God. So he's here. So he's looking. I'm not looking at him because I don't want to see what face he's making right now as I say this.
He's giving
But,
you
yeah,
a dad look.
I just looked
feel
at
like.
I just got my own look. I just got my own look back.
That's what it's like.
There's
So-
so many similarities.
Yeah. So why don't we bring on Dad Lando here? You can join us in the show. because Ben said so. How you doing?
Good.
We don't look a thing alike.
I think you guys look like spitting images of each
Oh
other.
my
No,
goodness.
you scoot into the table a little bit there. You're closer to the table there.
We haven't been this close since you were born.
I know. All right. So, yeah, that's my dad.
Do they look? Can we get a close up and see if they look similar?
No, he's not. He pointed the camera at Ben, so camera's not mine. Yep, Thomas says he's getting out.
Here, this can go on the Instagram.
They're blocking.
Actually, I always wanted to say this. Disco, I am your father.
And they both are wearing RSI jackets, black hats. I mean, they're practically twins.
Yes, yeah, I actually gave him one of my hats, but my hats are so big that he looked like Charlie Brown trying to wear it. So, yep. So,
I use it for a night pack.
do we have that? Do we have this? We have the same. Yeah, there's just having a blast back there. All right. So, a father of mine.
Yes.
Why don't you tell people how you got started with Star Citizen?
Well, it was something that I was a gamer before, been a gamer a long time. But games, Halo, Destiny, that type of thing. Lots of first-person shooter. Those are the type of games I like. Not into chess, the cerebral things. But Jared came home one day and he said, actually, I asked him what he was doing. He was doing these things on YouTube, and it was about this game. And I said, you must really like this game. He goes, Dad, it's phenomenal. It's going to be the best game in the world. And this was like 2012, 2013, something around there.
Probably.
Yeah. And so then I didn't pay much attention to it because when he gets enthused about something, it's something
We know.
everybody there knows what I'm talking about. So anyway, a couple of years later, he says, well, I got hired as an employee. And I'm going, as an employee of what? He said, well, Star Citizen.
Are you taking out the garbage at night? What are you
Yeah,
doing?
and he was telling me, and I said, it's this company. I said, well, who runs it? He said, well, it's this company, by Chris Roberts. And I said, you're not talking about the Chris Roberts, are you? And he said, yeah, as a matter of fact. Why? I said, well, for one thing, Wing Commander was probably one of my most favorite movies. And I'm not saying that because I'm standing in here or sitting in here.
I like your dad.
You should talk.
Yeah, it was so because of the fact that it I don't know, it just hit something inside me, and I it's one of those things like my wife has a movie that she constantly watches over and over again, like it's called American President. I don't have things that I watch over and over again. However, I will watch Wing Commander. Well, that got me definitely piqued. And so I decided when the game, I bought a ship, I bought a Aurora. And of course at that time, there was lots of glitches. You would expect something like that, especially if you know the concept of the game. But the minute I got in that ship, just getting into this ship, I didn't fly it for at least 15 minutes because I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at every crack, crevice, cranny. I'm very much a person of detail. And I looked at this thing and I said, if this is the beginning of what these people are doing, then the ending has got to be phenomenal. Same thing when I walked into the hangar. I was talking to his brother the other night, who is now a citizen, and it was the first time he got into the hangar. And I texted him, I said, what are you doing? I'm walking around the hangar. So I go down and I eat, come back. I texted him again. I said, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm still walking around the hangar." And I remember that feeling of walking around, just analyzing, soaking in everything there was to soak in. And it's kind of like looking at art. For those of you that are, connoisseurs of great art or music or something like that, when you see something that is great, you want to soak it in. You want to enjoy it. And that's basically how I got started with Star Citizen, because I saw something in Star Citizen that I've never seen in any other game. I saw becoming a way to become part of it. And so now I'm part of it, lock, stock, and barrel, And I talk to a few people every once in a while, and every once in a while, I get this, how old are you? And I'm going, well, I'm the under portion of 70 years old. And they're going, you like this game? I said, I love it. Well, why do you play it? I said, why do people go to Disneyland? It's, you go through life and you, Star Citizen gives me, personally, a place to, I'm going to hit him in a few minutes. I flew out here. And my wings, am I late? No, I'm not going to go there. It gives me a place to be a young person again, and not be foolish about it either. That's very rare. That's a very rare circumstance. Not to mention the fact that it keeps your brain alive, hand-eye coordination, that type of thing. I mean, I'm not out playing golf, stuff like that. So I have to do things that keeps me stimulated, and Star Citizen is one of them. You got another question?
Can we clap for that? That was the best answer I've ever heard.
I was just watching, trying to imagine your goatee on me like this. That's where my beard is. That's where my beard is going. My beard is. I've gained so much gray in my beard since.
So has Ben.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good job.
If Lando ever quits or gets fired, he'll get hell from his father more than anyone else.
I think if Lando ever quits or gets fired, we're hiring his father.
I know, we're hiring him. Can he just come back here? Or just tell us stories all the time?
I think I want to fall asleep on a bed made of your voice.
I'm seriously saying, the voice was that storytelling voice.
All right, so you started out with an Aurora. Then you own a couple ships now.
Yes, I own a Lancer Doer, and beautiful, absolutely beautiful ship. I go into, obviously it's not flyable yet, but I go into the hangar, and I just spend time just looking around. I love the colors. I love the way well, it's obvious I like the ship. And then I saw a concept, and it's not out yet, but it's hangar ready, the Redeemer. And the corporation that I have started just recently, because after so many times, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with this Star Citizen concept. And it's mostly kind of like protecting the innocent. I'll leave it at that. And I saw this Redeemer. I looked at the concept, I read about it, and I can see, Space Marines getting inside, you taking, Black Ops, Open Ops operations, taking them into hot LZs. The concept is just too numerous to mention here. So I bought a couple of Redeemers, and I'm continuing to
A
buy
couple?
them. Yeah, already. Yeah.
Did you have a couple cutlasses before that?
I have the cutlasses. I bought black. I had reds because I thought I was going to be human and humanity, very humanity and be a hospital type person.
I thought I was going to be human too.
Yeah, and I decided, nah, I'd rather break things. So I got some blacks, and hopefully and I'll upgrade them to blues, because the concept of the company is like force recon, private police, that type thing. And the blacks and the redeemers fit into the company's concept.
I don't want to know how much money you've spent on Star Citizen, do I?
Well, let's put it this way: you won't have a lot of money if I go.
Yeah, I was going to say. Is this why Christmas has been so light the last couple of years? You've been spending money on your spaceships?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you get a tiny amount of it back.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So let's go ahead, because where we are in time, let's move into the question and answer period of the show, guys. We are taking questions from the general chat on the RSI website. Please preface your question with the word "question" in capital letters, surrounded by brackets. It'll help me pick it out from the detritus there. So you have cutlasses, redeemers, auroras.
And I just bought a Mustang and gifted it to your brother yesterday.
Question.
Have you ever gifted your father?
No, I haven't given him anything. You didn't even get a ticket to CitizenCon.
Oh my goodness.
So.
I wanted
We'll
to
talk
talk
about
to you
that
about
after
that
the
later.
So no, it's we work for our stuff in our family. So also we're just not very nice.
Yeah.
Somebody asked if I was wearing makeup. No. I'm wearing
Me or you?
Me. So if I was wearing makeup. No, it's just a new hat.
It is.
It's just a
I
brand
tried
new-
it on. It's way too big.
Yep. I opened the box this morning. It's just a hat. My chat went crazy and it went back to the top of the thing. So scrolling down here, looking for chat questions. All right. Hello, Jared. The Arena Commander theme we heard on Wednesday was incredible. Unfortunately, there was background noise and coughing. Is it possible to ask Pedro to release an official version without the background noise? That was done on purpose. I left our mics up on purpose because we're pushing out a soundtrack, and we'll be selling the soundtrack to folks who already don't have it. So that will be where you get your clean, pristine version of the orchestrated Arena Commander theme.
Don't we have digital soundtrack available for sale?
Yeah, I'm confident it'll be. We got a digital option.
Oh yeah. It's just not we're not pushing it out right now.
Oh no, I'm
yeah.
just
I'm saying when the
adding
soundtrack
to-
comes out,
yes.
that's when.
I'm sure, being realistic, people readily extract it from Arena Commander once it goes into
Yes.
the build.
It'll eventually get added back to the launcher, and you'll be able to pull it out from there. But there it is. Is Jared wearing makeup? No. How big is each saddlebag on the Prospector? Big is each saddlebag? It's the same. It's the same containers that can hook into the
Is it
hull.
one SKU? I think it's one SKU each or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I remember. So, Olem Fala asked, did my Wacom tablet find a good home? Olem stopped by the office last week and dropped off his former Wacom tablet for anybody here in the studio that wanted to use it. I passed it to Darian, and after that, I don't have tracking on it. So I will...
Darian, if you're out there, come let us know what happened to the tablet.
Wacom
That
tablet.
was very nice of him to.
Yeah, that's
to bring
awesome.
it in, yeah.
I didn't know that happened.
I didn't
Yep.
either.
Should have thanked him on ATV.
Can't we see some new pictures of the 890 jump?
There are no new pictures of the 890 jump right now. It's just waiting for its turn in the putting into the game stage. We did sit down to talk about the 85X, which will be the first bit of the 890 jump you guys get. So that's being put together in the not too distant future. I think you literally have every single image we've ever generated of the 890 right
Yeah,
now.
for that and the Banning Merchantman. So, because I know that's the next. I know I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to see that question next too. Hey Alexis, are we ready to share what the May subscriber flare is?
Yeah, we can share. It's going to be another one of the space plants, and it will be the space cactus.
Space cactus.
In fact, I got an email from Emmanuel at Behavior this morning telling me that, let me see, he sent me new concept art for it because there was a change to it to make it more exotic. So you guys are getting a more exotic space
I love how
cactus.
much this behavior guys care about
Yes.
the smallest details of the plants and stuff.
I adore behavior. I adore
Yes.
behavior.
So,
So
if I can find, actually, I could show the picture if we want to do that. No? Okay.
Yeah, we can
No,
try.
if you have
Find
it.
the picture.
Yeah, it's not. Hang on.
Why don't you tweet it, and we will tell people to go to ballroom_blitz.
No,
on
I'm not going to tweet it.
Okay, don't tweet it. Okay, never mind. She's not going to tweet it.
that was her Uno voice.
Not going to.
It's like, let's see. Question: will the shield system described by Matt Sherman in RTV a couple weeks ago be in fully for 2.4?
It should. Last I heard, that was the plan.
Yeah, if it's up and running, it's one of those things. It's
That's
right.
one we could theoretically play with 2.4. We're confident talking about the persistence and the shopping and everything because we know that no matter what, it's all or nothing there. Shields, I mean, they were scheduled to. I have not seen if they actually work yet or not. But if you're out there, Matt Sherman or somebody else, let us know.
I'm sure we'll get a note from Matt Sherman here in a little bit. Hey, that Shubin application contest for the 5 Orions. When does that close?
So we're going to close that on Monday. Monday noon Pacific. Have your write-up done by then, and we're going to close them all. We have had over 35,000 entries, so
Yes.
it's going to take a little bit of time for us to read everyone's bios. We don't want to
3,500 or 35,000?
35,000.
All right. So Tyler will be reading your entries next week.
Tyler, that's your weekend homework.
No, we're going to go through all those. We're going
Yes.
to find our favorites. Another thing I neglected to mention last time is that we're going to use them as a source for lore when it strikes our fancy. So we're going to provide all these great entries to our lore people, and if they want them for NPCs or backstory or anything, they're going to be able to work that into the verse. So it's cool all around.
Question for Alexis: when are those cool patches going on sale to the public?
Well, that's a great question. They are going on sale right after the show ends. So in 17 minutes, if I can do math right. Yes, 17 minutes.
You
Also,
need
I
a-
have the space cactus on my phone ready now.
Can we do a
switch
Zoom
to the other
share?
camera, and I can hold it closer. You want to hold? Okay.
I'll just hold it.
I love the hesitation of
Email that to me and I'll tweet it.
Okay. All right. No, don't tweet it yet.
What? No, we want to
Shouldn't
see
be
it.
It shouldn't be tweeted. I'm sorry.
Eh.
Don't mess with the Uno voice, man. F9 would like to know, what ship are you looking forward to most of all, Dad Lando?
The Starfarer.
Starfire.
It's a good one.
And another Redeemer. I want to be able to take on all comers.
What is the status of the office you're in? A new tour of the place? We are really close to being able to do a tour. We still got some
We did a
construction
tour.
guys.
I mean, we did our first tour.
No, I mean a video tour in
Oh, video
ATV so
tour, yeah.
people can see it.
Yeah, two things stopping that. They're just putting together the lobby right now. In fact, they put up the subscriber thing with
Yes.
everybody's names, and Chris wanted to add a plaque
Yeah.
to the bottom of that explaining what those names were. So that's coming. But we're very, 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 very close. I think the big thing we really are waiting on now is Chris Roberts. He's in. Chris is off working on Squadron in the UK for the next 4 weeks. We really want him to be the one
Yeah.
to do the tour.
Yeah, we could do it, but this is Chris's baby. It just seems right to have him be the guy who gives you the tour.
Knowing how excited he was about that Willy Wonka idea, the golden ticket at the very start of the game, I think he wants to be the guy who shows off the
Yes.
chocolate factory.
So Chris is scheduled to be back sometime in June for a bit. So maybe
Early June, it's like
Yeah.
3 or something.
So we'll grab him off the airplane and say do a tour of the office. Let's see. Any information on the Polaris Corvette?
So the current status of the Polaris Corvette, we have selected the shape. Essentially, as our concept artist sent us, 5 or 8 different possible directions. We said everybody agreed this is the one we want it to look like, and now he is off fleshing that out. You'll be seeing it in the next couple months.
Is there any thought on letting people with accumulated rec change that over to Alpha UEC so we don't have long periods of time to play and earn it?
Possibly, it's something to entertain. I think it wouldn't be as much of a benefit for testing because we want to see how we were going to go into it with our thinking, here's how we were going to play, here's what the appropriate amount to earn is, here's how long we want it to take to earn, so and so. We need to get that data first. Certainly, we can look down the road. I mean, I don't even know if it would be Alpha UEC, but maybe once we get to UEC, we can look at people who have astonishing amounts of rec and say, okay, here's your reward for that.
The real purpose of Alpha UEC at this point is because we want to be able to nuke it entirely, give it out, take it away, and change it as we experiment with the value of things. So we don't want you. It's not supposed to be something that you earn. It's supposed to be something that we can give and take away.
They do earn. They will earn in missions
earn.
And so on, and bounty hunting and so on in Crusader, which is other information we desperately need to track. The other big thing about Alpha UEC is we, as he says, we can, hey, everybody's a billionaire today, and see how the game reacts to that, or hey, nobody has any money today, see how people play. It's testing.
Yes. Folks asking what Dad Lando's in-game name is. I'm not telling you. Let the man live on his own and exist in Star Citizen without having to deal with my crap. So you could be playing with Dad Lando right now and not even know it. What? Hey Jared, what has become of the Interstellar Surveyor? Interstellar Surveyor.
The patch on the front of our.
The Stellar
Is that it?
Stellar Surveyors? Interstellar
Isn't it Interstellar Surveyors?
Yeah, Surveyors.
ICC,
Yeah. I see. ICC.
ICC.
What's the C stand for?
ICC. Just look at the patch on the front of the computer. Other side. ICC Stellar Surveyors.
ICC Stellar Surveyors. All right. So okay. Well, so that's what I was like.
Look,
Interstellar is what
wrong,
threw.
okay?
Well, Interstellar is what threw me off. This is still the logo for our in-game version of the subscribers.
Yes, that's the lore version of subscribers, basically.
It doesn't do much now, but who knows what the future will hold.
We'll have some more stuff with that. That was something the writers came up with for us, and that was pretty cool.
It's definitely something you can buy the patch, and you show up to Star Citizen events, and we know you're a subscriber.
You can't buy the patch anymore.
Well, you could have bought the patch. You should have bought the patch.
We can bring those back at some point.
How long is the caterpillar?
If I had confidence here, I'd check, but I don't. So.
Yeah, and then once it gets built out, that's the thing. It's all guesses until we get it built out. So they build it out, and then that's when you get to walk around and things, and you realize, okay, we need to make this bigger, we need to make this. So it's all guesswork until it's built.
It hasn't changed substantially, though.
We haven't built it yet.
Well, we have the concept model. Yeah, great.
We will be doing a ship shape on the current white box of the Caterpillar sometime in the near future. Waiting for permission at the moment. Jared, make your dad ask questions. I got a whole text conversation with my dad asking Star Citizen questions. So, any updates on the 300 series rework?
No, it's scheduled, but it's not happening right now.
Same with the Redeemer. It's not being built at the moment, or not being reconfigured at the moment.
No, but it's on the docket.
Yep. Yeah. For updates on VR, you're going to want to check the Brian Chambers news segment from ATV about 3 weeks ago. Basically, he says we got some guys in the Frankfurt office. They have a plan for it, but it's not in active development right now because they have to prioritize for things that affect this many people versus things that affect this many people. So they have a plan, they know how to do it. It's just prioritization right now. Is the Buccaneer still planned to be the same price as the Cutlass?
Roughly the same price. We'll spec it out based on the exact specifications. Last we did a preliminary look, it was like $10 cheaper, but loadouts and stuff may change.
We've talked about doing a segment that goes kind of behind the scenes on how we price
should.
things.
Yeah, I'd like to do that to show how that happens. There's more thought than you'd expect, and there's more factors than I think people understand.
Maybe we'll see if we can't do that around the Buccaneer time.
All right.
We make plans and then everything blows up the next week. So
Well, we plans advanced now. I have a whiteboard. That's the other thing. I got a whiteboard this week, and I'm very proud of it.
yes, whiteboard that I have sticky notes on, and for segments for the next
Improper
7
use of
episodes.
whiteboard.
And well, it's so because we move them
But you
around.
can
And
put sticky notes on anything.
that's what I said. I had them up on the wall, but Mr. Whiteboard here said we need to put them on the whiteboard.
I remember going. My dad was a systems analyst for IBM when I was growing up, and I would go into his office when I was a kid, and I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world that there was a whiteboard on the wall. That was my definition of having it made, was you have a cube with a whiteboard in it.
Yeah, and then you ordered your whiteboard on a wall, and it came on wheels.
Yes. But that let me put Wing Commander art in back of it, so I'm happy. They stole my painting yesterday. I came back to my office yesterday, and there were 2 guys lifting the like Port Olisar painting off the back of my wall. That was stretch wrap, and I was like, "Hey, what are they doing?" And Ali was like, "I don't know." They just went in there. I was like, "Well, I'm going to follow them," and they walked into the cafeteria, into the lobby, and then out of the building and put it in a truck. I still don't know why.
Oh, I heard because they were improperly mounted.
Okay.
Yeah, the frames were beginning to warp, so we're making the vendor fix them for
Oh,
free.
here comes Tom. He probably has a better explanation.
I will explain to you what is going on.
Here we go.
This is when the show goes off the rails.
You know what? I have nothing to offer very often. So
Oh my god.
You always have something to
You can't
offer.
really see it on this, but when you do the canvas, and then on the back, this is covered with paper, but there's a wooden frame that goes around.
Nobody can see you, Tom.
Yeah, that's fine. A wooden frame that goes around it that the canvas is stretched over. But when you make the canvas very big, you also need to put supports
Yes.
across it so it stays stretched out. But these did not have support. So what was happening is the canvas wrapping around both sides of the thing was pulling it in and bowing it. So the ones that did not have proper support were taken down, are sent back to the people that did it so they can add the proper support so they don't bow in. That is,
Well, thank you, Tom.
yes.
The reason why this is a thing here is that each office and room in our new facility is themed after something in Star Citizen. So there's a piece of Star Citizen concept art on every wall. That's
Except
what's
ours.
going on.
Yeah, we
Alexis and I are the only people that don't have Star Citizen art at our desks.
We
Well,
just
fan
got
board.
art.
Yeah, we have artwork that you guys create
That's
So
like mom
send
and
us
dad,
your-
like having
because
like the kids
we're
send
community.
us stuff to hang on our bulletin board.
bulletin board.
We are literally-
He has a
we are
whiteboard,
literally-
he has a bulletin
Yes.
board.
We are literally the refrigerator art
We are.
of Star Citizen.
We are.
So everybody else gets this professional art, and we get the stuff that you guys make.
Which we love.
We love.
Good
We love.
I don't know.
It's
I
awesome.
like the community.
Yeah,
I don't.
it-
Jared doesn't.
I'm just uncomfortable sharing my
Real
feelings, and I don't know how to express affection. That's my problem.
That's a breakthrough.
Yeah, it's a breakthrough.
Yeah. No, shut up.
My wife, ladies and gentlemen.
Dad Lando, what's your favorite Jared as a child story? We will skip that.
Oh, I can't tell them about the time you got your tongue caught in a egg beater.
Oh, let's tell us, please.
I think he just did.
How do you even manage that?
The doctor's still. It's a medical miracle. It really is.
Oh, tell us the story.
That was it.
Oh. Well, what was he doing with his tongue in an egg beater?
I never asked. Although, even as a small child, he was very strange. When he was 9, 10 years old, I picked up the family and moved them about, I don't know, what do you say, Fontana to Ontario.
Yeah.
And his friends were all in the Fontana Colton area. So I get this phone call from a neighbor. It says, Jared rode his bicycle all this 50-some miles. And I thought, okay. I'm thinking while I'm driving to get him about how much torture and pain that I could deliver to this kid for taking off on his bicycle. It was getting dark. There was no way he'd get back.
And the only way I knew how to get there was on the freeway.
Yeah.
So I'd ridden my bike 50 miles on the freeway.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's, I won't tell you what a father was going through at that particular time. However, when I picked him up, put him in the car, didn't say anything, put his bike in the trunk. We're driving home, and I looked over at him and I said, whatever possessed you to ride your bicycle 50 miles on the freeway and you knew that you were going to get in trouble? And he said, well, Dad, I weighed the consequences with what I wanted to do and decided the risk was worth it. I almost ran off the road. And I admired the spirit. I immediately knew that my 10-year-old son was somebody very, very special. But that's just one. I mean, there's dozens of them where he's displayed his I send both of them in, his little brother, in to clean their rooms. And I walk in, the little brother is cleaning his room, and Jared is back there doing one of these numbers, looking up at the, relaxing. And I walked over to him and said, I thought I sent you in to clean your room. He goes, yeah, you did. I said, why aren't you cleaning the room? And he looked at me and he said, Dad, my brother was doing such a wonderful job, I didn't want to bother him. I just turned around and walked out.
I don't remember that, but it sounds like something I would do.
Oh, they know it's something you did.
Yes. And we'll not do the tongue story. Suffice to say, I lost a third of my tongue in an egg beater.
I've heard your side of the tongue.
And they brought it around and stitched it up, and the guy had a giant picture of Hulk Hogan on his wall when he was sewing my tongue. So as I'm sitting there at 12 years old, as the guy is stitching in my tongue, I'm just staring at Hulk Hogan staring back at me for like however long that was. So
you equate Hulk Hogan with trauma?
as do many other people. So. That wraps up this week's edition of Reverse the Verse. Hope you enjoyed it. Looking ahead, we have that Prospector Q&A Part 2 should be up now. So if you haven't seen it because you were watching us, check that out. The sale goes until Monday. So you have until Monday to pick up your Prospector with LTI here at the lowest possible price it will be sold at. Next week we have 10 for the developers. I believe we're shooting for Sean Tracy, provided he gets over his sickness here soon. Then Around the Verse next week, Return of Lore Makers, and don't know what the other segment is yet. The other segment will be a cool segment with Sean Tracy about the item port system, provided he gets better. So we don't want to push him, but we've been chasing that segment that segment is my Waterloo. I've been chasing this thing for 5 weeks now. And it continues.
Waterloo? I think that's where you get
I didn't
defeated.
say it was a perfect metaphor.
Would you say it's your white whale, maybe?
That would be a better metaphor.
That's the right one.
This has been metaphors.
They both
with,
start with the word or the letter W.
The word W.
All right. You
So
know what?
far. We also have the monthly report hitting next Friday. And you'll be hearing a lot more about 2.4 as we get closer. And I always hate, we don't have a release date. There literally is not a release date. When it's ready, and it's getting close. So we'll keep you updated as we get there.